Just like the first tradition, he says, وَلَقَدْ اندمجت عَلَى مَكْنُونِ سِرٍّ. But he says, and I have certain knowledge from Rasulullah, from Allah. He says, I have this knowledge. He says, وَلَقَدْ اندمجت عَلى مَكْنُونِ سِرٍّ لَوْ بُحْتُ بِهِ لَاضْطَرَبْتُمْ كَاضْطِرَابِ الْأَرِيشَةِ عَلَى الطُّوَى الْبَعِيدَ. He says, I have certain knowledge that if I were to let you in, if I were to tell you, you guys would go crazy, wild. You guys would say Imam Ali is crazy. He's talking nonsense because it's too ahead of his time. And that's why the Imams, most of the time, there are some certain times that they did speak, they would stay quiet. They didn't have the opportunity, and people would disbelieve. They would say, what is this junk? The Imams would look, if there are certain students that could handle, like Jabir ibn Hayyan, Imam Sadiq, he saw Jabir ibn Hayyan as someone worthy. He saw this person as someone suitable for me to give him my knowledge. That's why he gave him a fraction of his knowledge. But in most times, you see, they say Imam Ali used to go in a well and he used to talk to the well. They used to tell him, what are you doing? He says, I can't keep this knowledge within me anymore. I have to tell her, I just go and speak in the well. There isn't someone that can handle the knowledge of Imam Ali alayhi salam. These were our Imams, brothers and sisters. They weren't just leaders in faith, they were scientists and scholars. And there's some beautiful stories, we'll end with these, about Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib and how he had this knowledge. How he had knowledge that was so ahead of his time. I'll give you one story and we'll end with this. They say one day, three brothers, they came to Imam Ali alayhi salam. They came to Imam Ali and they told him, our father died and he left for us some camels and he left a will. He left 17 camels for us. It's a famous story. And in his will, he said, look, the oldest one, he takes half of the camels. This requires a little attention. Whoever knows math should take out their calculators. He says the first one, the father said, takes half of the camels. There's 17. The second one takes 1/3. And the third one takes 1/9. So now there's 17. What's half of 17? 8.5. How could you give 8.5 camels? What, take a camel and kill it and split it in half? It's not going to work. So they don't know how to do it. This is a problem for them. They go to Imam Ali alayhi salam. They tell him, Ya Ali, this is the will of our father. There's 17 camels. Imam Ali, as soon as he hears, he says, I'll solve it for you. Imam Ali, he goes and brings a camel of his own. He adds it to their 17 camels. So how many camels do you have now? What's 17 plus 1? I hope you know the answer. 18, correct? 18 camels. Imam Ali, he says, okay. The first one takes half, right? What's half of 18? 9. He takes 9 and he gives it to the oldest one. The second one takes 1/3. What's 1/3 of 18? 6. He takes 6 and he gives it to the second one. 9 and 6, how many? 15. The third one, he says, the father said 1/9. What's 1/9 of 18? 2. He takes 2 and he gives it to the third one. 15 and 2, 17. And then he takes back his camel and he leaves.
صلى على محمد وآل محمد.
Now that you heard the story, the Imam just added one camel. You say, you know what, it was so simple. Now that you heard the answer, it's simple. But try to reach that conclusion without the Imam. Try to reach the conclusion before hearing the story of the Imam. How did the Imam reach to that conclusion that I should add a camel and it will solve everything? 1/9, 1/3, 1/2, I'll add to 17 and then I take my camel back. So he didn't do anything. He just added a camel, he distributed evenly, and then he took back his camel. This requires, brothers and sisters, someone that, this shows that Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib was a man that was directly tied to Allah. This knowledge was all given to them by Allah, from Rasulullah. He says, Imam Ali, he says about Rasulullah, he says, علمني رسول الله يوم علمني بابا يفتح منه 1000 باب. 1000 باب يفتح منه 1000 باب. He says, one day he taught me 1,000 knowledges. And every knowledge, 1,000 knowledges open from that. So 1,000 pieces of knowledge. Rasulullah taught him 1 million times 1,000. 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million, correct? 1000 باب من كل باب 1000 باب. So that's 1 million that pieces of information or knowledges that Rasulullah teaches Imam Ali one day. Can you imagine how much from that did reached us? You know, we have ruwayat from Ahlul Bayt, we have ahadith from Ahlul Bayt. Probably not even 1% of their knowledge reached us. Not even 0.0001% of their knowledge reached us. These are our imams. Yes, brothers and sisters, we have to take the time to educate ourselves about our imams, and then we can educate others about our imams. We will continue, inshallah, this topic tomorrow and the subsequent nights. But tonight, I want to go and take you back to Karbala. I want to take you to Al-Madinah. On a night like this, the fourth night of the month of Muharram, we usually speak about the mother of Al-Abbas, alayhi salam, al-Baneen, alayhi salam. This mother that was called al-Baneen, Fatima, her name was Fatima, but she was called al-Baneen, the mother of the boys. She had 4 beautiful boys, Abbas, Uthman, Ja'far, Abdullah, and all of them, she sacrificed them for Hussein. On the day of Ashura, you find that al-Baneen, alayhi salam, she stayed in Al-Madinah. She didn't know what happened. The caravan of Imam al-Hussein went to Karbala. A month and a half after they come back, she doesn't know what's going on. So while Imam al-Hussein, while Imam Zainul Abidin and his aunt Zainab are coming back to Al-Madinah, Imam Zainul Abidin, he tells one man by the name of Bishr ibn Hithlam, as we enter Medina, they're back from Karbala, I want you to mourn my father Hussein and tell everyone in the streets what happened to Hussein. And that's why Bishr, he goes in the street and he begins to cry out loud, Ya ahla Yathrib la muqama lakum biha. قتل الحسين فأدمعي مدرار. He begins to mourn about Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. All of a sudden al-Baneen, she hears this, she comes out crying out loud. What's going on? She sees Imam Zainul Abidin, Zainab, they're back, but where are the men? So she goes to Bishr, she asks him, what's going on? What are you talking about? He asks her, who are you? Why are you asking me? She tells him, I am al-Baneen, the mother of Al-Abbas. As soon as he finds out this is al-Baneen, he tells her, Ya al-Baneen, I give you my condolences for your son. Abdullah was killed. But look at al-Baneen's loyalty to Abu Abdullah. She tells him, I don't care about my son Abdullah. I want you to tell me about Hussein. What happened to him? He tells her, I give you my consolation for your son Ja'far. She says, I don't care, tell me about Hussein. He tells her, I console you for your son Abbas. When she hears Abbas, this is what happened to him. She tells him, I wish you had not told me my son Abbas was killed. But tell me about Hussein. What happened to Hussein? He tells her, عظم الله لك الآيات بأبي عبد الله الحسين الجسم منه بكربلاء مفرج والرأس منه على القناة يدار. As for your son Hussein, she was like his mother, that's why it says your son Hussein. He was also killed in Karbala, and they cut his head and placed it on a spear. al-Baneen begins to cry out very loudly, and she says, Wa Husayna wa walada لا تدعوني ويكي أم البنين تذكريني بليوث العرين. She says, don't call me al-Baneen anymore, because all my sons, my beautiful sons, have been killed. I have no more Baneen, no more children. أربعة مثل نسور الربع قد واصلوا الموت بقطع وتين. All my beautiful four sons, they went to the battlefield and died in Karbala. يا ليت شعري كما أخبروا قطيع اليمين. I wish they never told me that my son Abbas, that his right hand was good, that his right hand was severed. يوم 4 دوما لبنها يا لبجت الحسين ما ونيت لبنها يا قالت يحرم عليكم لبنها يا عدل يبقى ولا قلكم ضحية وعدل يبقى ولا كلكم يوم ضحية. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون.